And to my mum and dad's credit, they put me off a lot of things. And they tried to put me off this, but they know when I'm like on something, I'm either going to fail or succeed, so they'll just let me do it. So they were pretty supportive at the start. But my dad, I still remember my first property that I acquired for the business. My dad went, "Oh, do you know what you should do with this one? Put a bomb on it because shit'll." And it makes me $4,000 every month now to this day. And I'm like, because my dad works for me out, I'm like, "Dad, I'll pay your wages out of that property only."
Right, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chatzzz. We've got a very, very special guest today, Ricardo. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm a special guest.
Yeah, of course.
Special needs.
Backstory is we've known each other a long, long time, haven't we?
Yeah.
I reckon it's probably been at least 6 or 7.
Yeah, 2018. That's when started there.
So many, honestly, I feel like North Lakes is the centre of so many connections. You literally talking to me about it before. I still speak to like Anthony and Max. Was Max there when you were there? Max Winder. You might have just left us before you came, actually. Anthony was still on it.
Mr. Penny.
And then it's just crazy how
Sue's still there.
Is she?
I think so. So Rose is still there. Obviously, 40 years there.
She's gonna literally. God, I don't want to say that on camera. And Laura Davidson.
She works on Game On now.
Yeah. We've done the website and some content for them and stuff.
Oh, sick. Jordan
works there. And who's the other lad who works there with Jordan?
Harry was friends with him. I didn't know him, but he's a nice lad.
Yeah, he was there after me anyway, but he sounds, yeah. So, yeah, it's weird how, like...
Only person I miss, Chatzzz.
Chatzzz, she's still there as well?
Yeah, she only works Wednesdays, I think.
Yeah, she was part-time regardless, isn't she? But she's cool. She's cool. But yeah, so I messaged you literally yesterday, last night, I think it was, quite late. And I was like, right, let's do a podcast tomorrow.
We're in now,
like, fuck it, might as well. Have I even prepared you for what I need? Have I briefed you? I don't think I've briefed you ever.
No, brief me.
Oh, right, so the flow of the podcast is 3 facts about yourself to start off with.
Yeah, how extreme.
Whatever you want to put out there on camera. And then what you were like growing up before your business journey, and then like your greatest strength, greatest weakness, or any like big mistakes or regrets you've had in your personal business life.
Is this a job interview?
Pretty much, yeah. It's an interrogation. So yeah, to be fair, like quite a lot of people find the 3 facts a bit difficult.
What kind of facts do you suggest, or
so say
free reign?
Like say for me, mine would probably be, I was born in Boston, Massachusetts in America.
Best friend lives there right now.
Yeah, it's a cool place. I want to do a marathon there next year.
That's a big marathon.
Yeah, need to apply in September, I think, so that'd be quite cool.
You need to apply for that?
Same as like the London one, I think. And then the next one would be, I've been on TV.
I knew that.
And then I haven't drank alcohol in probably nearly 4 years. 4 years in August, so that'd probably be mine.
I haven't drank alcohol in nearly 4 days, and I feel like I can go well.
Hey, everyone's different, aren't they? So that'd be mine. So I know I'm putting you on the spot, and you've had literally like 30 seconds to think. What would you say?
Interesting fact. It just depends what you call interesting. But for me, I'm from Portugal. My dad was born in Angola. No, he was born in Portugal. He lived in Angola most of his life. My grandma's from there. So I've got a mixed background.
Have you got a Portuguese passport then?
Yeah. I'm only Portuguese. So going with that, when I moved here, I was 7. Funny story about that. I came here on a flight, did not know I was getting on a flight. I just thought we were like going somewhere else. Didn't know what mode of transport it was. I was just a kid. Got on the flight, don't remember any of that. Got in a black cab. My auntie that I'd never met, I was a baby, but I'd never met in my life. It was sat across from me, and I was like, didn't know who the fuck it was. I was like, Nelly, who's this woman in the car with us? That's your auntie. Your dad's sister. I knew my dad's sister lived in a different country. I was like, well, that's impossible. She couldn't have got here. It's like, no, we got to her. I was like, no, we didn't. I was asleep. And then we were just in the back, and that was my first interaction with my auntie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That I remember. That's fact number 1. Another fact. I've got a property business, BDR Properties. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Normally off merch on.
No, why didn't you put your merch on?
I was just busy with the investors. Completely forgot. But yeah, we've got a property business. That's pretty interesting.
Talk about that more later. Follow them on Instagram.
Fact number 3 is not so interesting because I think everyone's got it nowadays, but I think I'm developing adult ADHD. And running a business with ADHD is not fucking fun. It's like, I have a lot of thoughts, and I've always had a lot of thoughts. And my cousins just came from Portugal this week for my sister's wedding tomorrow. And she was just telling me, and I was like, oh yeah, that is so me. She said, oh, when you were a kid, everyone would tell you stuff to do and you this and that, but you'd always just do stuff your way. If somebody told you to do it one way, regardless if it was the right way or not, and you knew it was or you didn't know, you just think, okay, this is not the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it a different way. And everyone around me goes, oh yeah, that's like your ADHD and shit like that. And I think I'm starting to realise it.
Do you reckon you'd ever get diagnosed or like you do a test or whatever?
Is there a point?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you. I was saying, would you?
I could do it, but I to me, it's, well, people would say it's a superpower. To me, it's a gift because I'm really good with numbers because of it. Like, you see your house here, I could draw your floor plan right now and tell you probably the size is pretty much with a 15% leeway maximum. And that's just by looking at it. It's freaky.
Because like, I had a friend that had it when he was younger.
Is he dead?
No.
What happened?
Previous friend. Kind of, difficult circumstances. And he had it at school. And then he got like given like pills or prescription and stuff like that. And he said it really like affected the way he's, his personality and that kind of thing.
Like dulled him down a bit.
Yeah.
See, and I've heard stuff like that and I wouldn't want that to be. I mean, half the time I'm a dull personality nowadays anyways because I'm just getting old, but I don't know, I couldn't be even less me. You have to be yourself, really.
Because I'd imagine some people would want just that, like, not, is closure the right word, or just like to know, and then they could manage it better. But like, I'd be the same as you. Like, does it really affect day to day? I don't know.
It does affect me greatly day to day, but it's not negative.
Yeah.
So to me, until it isn't, like, in some aspects it is, like, sometimes I have so many things on, I forget to do stuff. Like today, I was rushing about all day because I should have woke up 2 hours later, but I was up till 2 a.m. doing a piece of work for investors that were coming up today. And then my friend asked me for a lift, so I went and gave her a lift. If most people without ADHD, I believe, would be like, sorry, no, I've got a busy day tomorrow. Me, I'm like, nah, I'm up, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then I'd need to eat loads of sugar to keep me awake.
Yeah. That's one of the most important things to me is my sleep these days. I've got this Whoop band thing.
I got one of them. I just always think, I don't like wearing it in bed. So I think I'm going to buy the thing that you go like that. Because that, I don't know, I get the ADHD, I just fidget too much.
Yeah,
so if I'm like this, sleeping in it, this is my bad.
Yeah, because you can't take it off. I got a new band for my birthday, but I didn't really like it as much as this one. But like, say for you, like when you got your own business, prioritising sleep's the most important thing. Because
do you know, I can get to 93% sleep consistently every day.
Really?
And I sleep a lot.
Percentage or recovery?
Sleep percentage. Yeah. I don't know. My recovery is normally good, to be fair.
I've had 2
naps
today.
My stress is never that much.
No. Like, honestly, I just called myself out, but yeah, I've been absolutely knackered. What was I doing yesterday? Oh yeah, I was in Birmingham. I drove to Birmingham back in the day, so I'm knackered. But yeah, it's good. It tracks your recovery. So I had a good recovery last night. Your strain, so your stress-reduced activity, your sleep percentage, your HRV, when you sleep or you nap like me.
My heart thing, because on that, it was like, I always get it to like between 45 to 50. And I'm like, that's a really good resting heart rate for somebody who doesn't do any sports.
Yeah, that's really good. You don't do any sport, no?
No, I play football, but I've been injured for 10 months now.
Yeah. What happened?
I tried not to stand on somebody's head, so I leaped over slightly too much, overstrained my groin, and I've never ever been injured in my life until 10 months ago.
That's a sign you're getting old.
Everyone says that.
How old are you now?
25. The baby.
Mate, I've turned 28 like a couple of months ago. It's not good at all.
Unlucky.
I know.
The hairs yet? Not yet.
Not yet, but I feel like I'm getting wrinkles, which isn't good, but yeah, God knows.
I know a good Botox woman in Carlo. Luke's mum.
Really? Yeah, we've got an aesthetic clinic client who's he's tried to persuade me to get some stuff, but I'm like,
too young, don't do it.
I'll just grow old gracefully, I think, but we'll see. So yeah, what were you like growing up then? Because like I said, you came over when you were 7.
Yes, came over when I was 7. I remember the first year of Bishop, which was my primary school. Shout out Miss Roberts Green.
Big shout out.
No, she's actually one of the nicest people I've ever. The first year of that, all I could say for the first full year, toilet. That's all I could say. Miraculously, came back the next year. Didn't try and learn anything over summer. I just had my kids' summer, and I could speak pretty much fluent English from no trying or anything like that. So I don't know what the hell happened at that summer.
Do you not remember how you learned?
No, it was just watching TV. Watching TV and going out on walks and stuff like that. So it must have been, soak it up and then express it. Because I'm a little bit like that in person. It's like when I go to a new room, networking events and stuff like that, I'll soak up the environment and then I'll go. Because I could just, sometimes I can just go and be like Tigger. But normally I like to see what's happening and then go premeditated.
Yeah, so you can kind of figure things out.
Sound like a psycho, premeditated.
Pre-planning everything. What did you watch on TV then to learn? Can you remember?
It would have just been shit on TV, like Tracy Beaton, Tracy Beaton.
Oh, I used to love Tracy. Like I say,
Flaps.
Yeah, literally. So then growing up, was there anything that you wanted to be or anything you wanted to do?
Footballer. Wanted to be a footballer all my life, as everyone did.
You would have done that if you didn't get injured 10 months ago, wouldn't you?
No. When I was playing football, when I was 14, I stopped playing football because I was going to sign on for Annan and I was going to be like one of the English players ever. But me, I always want the best of the best. And I thought, if I'm playing for Annan, no offense, Annan, they're pretty shit. They're not the level of your Premier League and stuff like that, which is what I wanted to be at. So I was like, if I'm not going to get there now, I'm never going to get there. Which is a really dumb mindset to have, but I was a fucking kid, so it's one of them.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Like even, because I played for Carlisle until I was like 14 or something.
Unlucky.
Yeah. And only 2 of the lads from my team made it. One of them's, they're both in League One now actually, Kyle and Patrick. One of them is Kyle. Kyle plays with Bolton now. I think Patrick plays for Northampton. And like they were good, but like not the Premier League. But they should have made decent money, but I don't know, it's like one of them things. What do you do after if you don't make enough money to like retire? Then I would find it hard to like go back into normal life kind of thing.
It would be near impossible because
after being told what to do for like 10, 15 years, like this is where you need to be, this is what you're doing, we're taking you here, taking you there. I don't know.
I never even gave it that much thought. I just thought if I can't play Premier League, I'm not going to be able to play for Portugal. But that was my process at 14, and then I was like, I can get a job now and get paid now. So I got a job as a waiter at Ricardos instead.
Oh, nice. How did you find that?
I enjoyed the job at first, but then it's any waitering job. It then gets a little bit, you don't like that person, you don't like that person. You might fall out with the manager here, you might fall out with the manager there. And then you fall out with the chef, then you're best friends with the manager because he's also fallen out with the chef. It's just a waitering cracking it. But I enjoyed it from there, but after I went to Gianni's. But to go back a little bit on that, whilst I was doing the football stuff, I really got into my science. I'd always wanted to be a cosmologist. Do you know Brian Cox?
No.
Brian Cox.
What's a cosmologist as well?
So the CMBR is cosmic background radiation. So to learn about how essentially the universe started. Okay. So I was studying that, and Bangor University in Wales, when I first got my iPad from the job, I spent my first 3 months' wages on an iPad Pro.
As you do.
Fucking slap. I've still got it to this day. So 8 years on? Best
good value for money, yeah. If you average, what would girls do? They'd like average it out, the lifetime value, the lifetime of it, and then divide it by the days, and then be like,
the amount of hours I spent on it, it's like a penny a day.
Yeah.
Slaps.
Yeah, that's good.
What a purchase.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. So like, how did you find school then? Like going through school, did you enjoy it?
So
not really.
Yeah, going from again, Bishop, if we go back to that, I was very good at football. So I made friends pretty quickly. My first ever friend in the UK, he's still my best friend to this day, which is pretty cool. And now we work together in my company.
That's cool.
So he's running my business for me.
That's nice.
Which is cool.
I think it's good to have friends that you work with as well, isn't it? When you've got that relationship, like that respect, and like they're in the same kind of like path as you, you've got similar kind of motivations and aspirations and stuff moving forward. I can relate to that with like Yoni, who does all of the videos and stuff, content for us. Like he's a bit older, but I've known him not since I was my first friend ever, but since I was at uni, like 18 and stuff, and then 10 years on, we're still friends now and stuff. And it's just like, it's so much better when you do something together with somebody you care about and you like, and like, I want to do well, but I want him to do well just as much.
It feels good to watch them do it.
Oh, so much better. Like it's more.
Feels like not like your kid, but like your kid.
Yeah.
It's like you're proud of them. Yeah. And it's like they could do the exact same thing you done 2 minutes ago. Like, fucking get it.
Yeah, literally. And like, it's even little things like you said, I've grown so much more confidence when we've been working together, like for his own stuff as well, which is like nice for me to hear that I've had like a positive impact on him. And like you were saying about the award thing the other day, winning the social media stars over there. Can you see on the desk on the right hand side? So yeah, this is it. Elite Awards, Carlisle, winner 2024. So I was nominated for 2 awards. I won 1, social media star.
50% conversion rate.
And it was like, for me, but it was CJJ Media, so my marketing company. And like what I said, I couldn't make it because I was raising money for Cash for Kids, doing the half marathon IV for my dad accepted it for me. But it's like I couldn't do anything I do without them. You know what I mean? Like Yoni, Zishan, Maha, Mosin, all them kind of thing. Because like if I wanted to, I could do stuff by myself
100%.
And I'd be like a busy idiot. And yeah, you'd earn more percentage profit, but
less profit overall, probably.
Yeah, but yeah, you'd make less actual money and stuff. And I don't know, it depends what you want to do, isn't it? You can be self-employed, I suppose, which is fine, like nothing wrong with that. Or you could try and like build a business, which is what I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like an award's an award. It doesn't change anything, but it's nice for like the recognition. And that's why I mentioned that, yeah, you're only as good as your team, aren't you? Same with you 100%. And stuff. If you're building a team of your friends or even like colleagues and stuff, that's where I feel like it's the best way to go. But yeah, we digressed a bit there, but sorry, carry on. You were saying about going through school and stuff.
Yeah, so in Bishop, it was easy for me to have pals because I was good at football. And anyone, when you're a kid, if you're good at football, you're like popular. A popular kid. So that was pretty easy. And then growing from Bishop, we did a year 6 play, proudest moment of my life. It was Cinderella that we were doing.
You Cinderella?
No.
Oh, mate.
Harry, actually, he was one of the ugly stepsisters. I've still got a photo on Facebook to this day.
Was that through choice or?
Let's say yeah. I'm not sure if it was, but I could imagine it being.
Yeah.
I could imagine it being through questionable choices were made. But when we were doing the rehearsals and that for it, and to rehearse for the parts, they were like, the teacher was like, "Oh, we've got to make you the lead." I was like, "Yeah, but you can't, Cinderella. I'm not dressing up as a girl." I'm like, "Oh, well, we'll just make like a little remix." And then I think they knew that there was like remixes, so they made Cinderella and Rockefeller. So I had to dress like the guys from Greece, pretty much, on Serge's thing. So I was like, "Okay, so we've got Cinderella, but you've made it named after my main character, Rockefeller." I love it.
That's good. Year 6 as well. That's impressive. So then going throughout secondary school and stuff, then how did you find that? Because obviously, like I say, wanting to do football and stuff, was there any other dreams or aspirations you had? Or was it just literally earn some money as soon as you can?
Yeah, secondary school, it was completely strange because you go in from being a big fish in a little pond and then you're just in another pond.
Yes.
I then quickly got grasp of that, got my own group of friends. And the difference with that one was, regardless of, yes, you could be popular, but there's so many, because it's such a big school, there's so many different groups. There's no one popular person. There's no one popular group. Like, there's a popular group there, popular group there. And I think because that was my school, like, me, my friends, Nathan and all them were in the popular group of boys, but we weren't in the bad kids, which was good. But it was good for my mum. But I was the bad one in my group of friends. I was the little shit because I still remember I spat on her teacher's face because she basically tried to take the piss out of my sister for not being able to afford a school trip in front of the class. And then I went to Miss Kennedy. I went and done, Miss Kennedy. I went, I done this. Oh, did you go to She was?
No.
Sorry. So you don't know Miss Kennedy?
I have no idea who you're on about.
So she was a secondary head or deputy head. And I went to her, I just done this because she said this in front of the class to embarrass my sister. Honestly, proudest moment of my life. Don't do that. Especially just because you're going to... I don't know. I came from poverty in Portugal. Like, we lived in a shack the size of this room, 6 of us. My great-grandma, mum, my dad, and my 3 sisters. And my 2 sisters. Got 3 sisters now, Bianca. Yeah. So, to know where I've came from, to know where we are now, to Portugal in comparison... rich as fuck. 10 years ago, my dad was working 4 jobs to keep food on the table. To me, that was rich.
It's all relative, though, isn't it? Like circumstances and stuff like that. So. And nobody should ever feel like they can talk down on somebody.
Yeah, it is relative. So, like, to her, she probably thinks, oh, well, yeah, you can afford that. But, honey, fuck off. Just don't. Because what's the point of disrespecting anybody on anything?
No.
Like, if they've disrespected you, honestly, I think go ham.
Yeah.
But you're a teacher, and this is just a person that literally has, and my sister was a goody too. She was like, I am a little shit compared to everybody else in my family. I'm the worst. I'm the devil child.
Worst.
I am the devil child. But if my mum's favorite, I'm the mum's favourite boy because I'm the only boy.
You've got that over it, yeah. I think it shows more about the teacher than it does about your sister, though, isn't it? Because it's like, why do you feel like you have to put somebody else down? What kind of kick are you getting out of that? You know?
Yeah, and like Catty was well liked at school, so there was nothing untoward about that. So like the people were like thought she was just being weird. But once I heard that, I was like, no, fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Not worth it, is it?
This is just disrespect. It's like I didn't understand what she had out with my sister, because my sister was never trying to get in trouble, wasn't rude. If anything, she took too much shit. Yeah. So no.
Strange situation. So what did you want to do when you left school or you were leaving school? What was that?
So when I was leaving school was when I'd finished football, and then I was just doing science. So I thought I was going to go and be a cosmologist, because as I was saying about Bangor University, when I got my iPad, I did the physics course, all of it. So I studied in year 10 and year 11 on my own time, just after school, just because I was a little fucking nerd inside. I studied the cosmology course and all of the physics course. So by the end of year 11, I was like university grade level thing. So then when I went to sixth form, I got an A star in all my physics, never showed up to any of the lessons.
Really?
I went to a little shit story from me. Bad part. I went to, what's it called? William Howard, because I'd met a girl in the summer that went to William Howard. So I was like, I'll go to the art school. And then we broke up 2 months in. So after 2 months of showing up every day, I just never go to school. I'll just take the bus, because my mum and dad were paying for the bus for me to go there. Take the bus, just chill in Brampton with some smackheads.
That's so
and
funny.
then I never showed up, still got an A star for physics, and then I got a B for maths because my physics bumped it up, and then I got a C for English because I just didn't go to any of it. But I still think that's pretty good.
That is pretty impressive, yeah. Bloody hell.
For a foreigner.
Yeah, 100%. I wish I got that good grades at A level. Well, to be fair, it doesn't really make a difference.
I didn't do A level, I only did the first year. So that was AS levels.
Right, okay.
I reckon physics I would have still got an A star. Because I could go to uni right now for physics because I've studied it already. Yeah. Because like I think the ADHD, and this is where I see the ADHD in the past growing up, but it definitely wasn't there as a kid. But I think it was more once I stopped playing football, the ADHD kicked. Maybe that might make sense, because I stopped having regiment in my life, which I play football 3 times a week, and then the ADHD kicked in.
Yeah, and then
that might be it.
Hey, we've found something out on this podcast right here. You can talk about stuff you don't think about before. That's actually impressive. So then, what was like the first job out of school then?
Adriana's.
Out of
school.
I thought Adriana's and Gianni's was in school.
That was in school, yeah. Oh, shit, okay.
Because when you had to get, like, a real job or like a proper job to pay, to earn actual money.
So my first proper job that I got was North Lakes, technically.
Oh, okay. Because maybe you started in Porters, didn't you? I think I remember your first day. Was I like the duty manager?
And I thought, why is a 22-year-old my manager?
I was younger than that, you know.
What are you?
I must have been
6-7 years ago.
So how old were you when you started that? 18?
I was 18.
So I'd have been 21. Yeah. Because I think...
Mad.
Yeah. I still don't know to this day. Well, kind of do. My auntie gave me that much responsibility. I think because I was cheap labour. And also, nobody else had a fucking clue, did they, really? Yeah. I was going to uni, so he thought I had some kind of idea what I was doing. Was
Amy there when you were there?
Amy Trowbridge.
I don't think so.
Yeah. She started, when, like, at the end of my time,
So she was the replacement with you?
No, she was, like, operations, because I was there, like, on my placement year for a year full. And then I came back in like the holidays and the summer holidays when I was back from uni. So I only kind of like filled in, which I thinking back, still pretty impressive to be able to like run the hotel when I'm not there all the time. Still kind of know, but I think that's like, because I worked my way around apartments, so I kind of knew.
You know what that is, because the bloody intricacies of a hotel, there's things here, things there, to catch up like that, tricky.
It's just like how all the departments
operate together.
Yeah, that's what I mean, in synergy, and everyone thinks their department is like the be all and end all, but it's definitely not, you know. Like, but you still need every single one.
Sort this out now.
Yeah.
That's a tomorrow problem.
How did you find that the North Lakes? I'm intrigued. It's 18 coming into it. 'Cause I think I was 19 when I started there.
Main reason I took that job is...
Far as well.
Yeah, my dad was working in Penrith, so it was an easy lift. There was two main factors. Is at the time minimum wage for me would have been like £4 an hour. They were paying $7.50.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, $7.50 sounds like nothing now, but yeah, they were paying $7.50. So I was like, oh, sweet. And it was full time, and they were also going to let me do my college because I was doing business at college at 1 day a week for 4 hours on a Thursday. So I'd have to go home at 2 o'clock on a Thursday, which suited me because my dad worked from 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. So you drop me off at 6 and then I'd start my shift at 8. So I'd have to go to the gym or to the pool. So I'd be there every day, either sleep by the pool for 2 hours or go to the gym and then go for a swim and stuff like that. So I was really healthy back then. Yeah. But portering job, I enjoyed it, really easy. And if I knew what I knew now, I would have connected with the guests a lot more. But hindsight's 20/20, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoyed it. It's an easy job. You have to do is organise a few things. And even there and then, I knew they weren't giving me any responsibilities. And it wasn't for a lack of me being good. It was just, that's the job. Yeah. They just wanted you to do a job. Yeah. I was basically just a body, which is fine. Like, I'll take it for $7.50 an hour at that age. But in hindsight, I was like, I knew I could do any of those jobs there. Hotel manager, deputy manager, reception. I was already good. They wanted me there because they knew I could cover shifts for the cafe because I'd already been an assistant manager in other places in the past. So
that was actually my first department I started in Porters. Yeah.
Dave Porter?
Yeah.
Shit.
So I think I was in there for maybe like...
Did you eat all the sweets?
Yeah, always. I think it was so good. That was the best bit, like the biscuits and stuff. I always used to go, what was the conference room where they had the upstairs and the downstairs?
Plain Cafe and something else.
Beacon.
Helvellyn? Oh, Beacon, yeah, Beacon.
And they used to have that cupboard like next to the coffee machines and so many like sweets and biscuits.
Oh, in the back of it, yeah.
Oh, so good. So what were kind of like the next jobs in before you started your own thing? Because I remember seeing you in DFS once, didn't I?
Yeah.
Why was I in DFS?
I think you wanted to buy a sofa from me.
Probably, actually.
I attract the crowds, innit?
Yeah. And I remember you just started.
DFS?
No, you just started property stuff. Because I remember you saying like, oh yeah, I'm doing X amount of hours here, just like paying the bills. I just got like 1 or 2 Airbnbs or something like that or something. So then what made you want to start and get into property to begin with? I'm intrigued because I've got a few friends who do property in various different ways. Like one of my best mates in Marbella, he real estate agent and stuff.
What's his name?
Henry Berry.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Maybe for you.
Yeah,
I've heard his name.
And various other ones like you, so I was just a property, I think similar-ish to you.
Similar, yeah.
Ish, yeah. And that kind of thing. So yeah, what made you jump into it to start off with?
So I'll just quickly tell you the rest of the work history because it's pretty simple after that. So I left North Lakes because... Why did I leave?
Got sick of 70.
No. I was going to go travelling.
Okay, yeah.
So I was going to go travelling for a thing, and then something happened after that. After a month of me travelling, so I travelled like 13 countries in Europe. 750 quid for a whole month. Bloody cheap as hell.
Is that?
Yeah. I was just in
accommodation.
Yeah, I was just in hostels, and I was just going from bus to bus places and just walking about every day, eating nuts and sandwiches.
Fucking hell, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was eating 3,000 calories a day because I was walking so much. I was like, I'm going to lose weight otherwise. Yeah. So I was eating like 1,000 calories worth of nuts and then 2,000 calories worth of sandwiches.
Fucking hell, that's really cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like chorizo, cheese, butter, and white bread. Lovely sandwiches. They slap on the beach.
Yeah, that's when like life's simple, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I could never do that now. Like even me and one of my best mates, Luke, went traveling around Europe for 4 months. Like at the end of COVID, like still in COVID. And I didn't want to stay in hostels, Airbnbs, that was it, because I just didn't want to like slum it. Because I was still having to work as well on my laptop.
I love the slumming it life.
Yeah.
Even now, I would still slum it. Like if it was to get an airport, if it was to get a hotel for 6 hours, I'm fucking sleeping in the airport.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not paying, even if it was 30 quid, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I could afford the 30 quid. Yeah. I'll spend 30 quid just for ease of something in the UK. Yeah. I'm on holiday. Nah.
The thing is, when me and Yoni go away, and he hates me for it as well, like if it's work, I will like try and keep costs as low as possible. If I go away with like a girl, I will spend a little bit more. It's like
that is a problem. Yeah.
So it's like, it's finding that balance. And then when we've been out for food, like when we were in Ibiza last weekend for the half marathon, we'd go to like bit nicer restaurant, or like me and Yoli been out with her as well, go to a bit nicer restaurant. And Yoli's like, I didn't ever treat you to this stuff when it's just me and him. I'm like, don't get used to it, mate.
It feels like a little side hill.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, we just go to yours.
Sorry, yeah, carry on.
You make me cook.
To be fair, when she comes, she cooks herself because she doesn't trust my cooking. Like you can see, I've got half a plate of chicken and noodles there.
Not fast. Is that not Chinese?
No, I cook that myself.
Looks okay to
But
me.
the thing is, I like cooking for myself,
Not for us.
but not for other people. Yeah.
See, I like cooking for other people. If they say it's good, if they say it's not, then they're stupid.
I need to start thinking that then. It's not good shit. But
My
yeah,
friends are always like, "Oh, you eat muck," but like all I make is paella with chorizo and chicken all the time. That's all I ever used to cook.
that's sound though.
Pure healthy. And if I'm spicing it up, I'll have a salmon with potatoes and chorizo, or steak with potatoes and chorizo. But that's the main reason for that is because the paella all cooks in one pan. Don't have to pay attention for it. The steak and the potatoes all cook at the same time, and it takes them both 10 minutes to cook.
That's good.
Properly.
Yeah, quick
So
and easy.
like I'm just there, just think 10 minutes. But I don't cook ever anymore.
No.
I genuinely, in my own house, I've not cooked for 8 months. I just
yeah.
eat out every day.
That's impressive. I think that's the first meal I've cooked all week. But yeah, I do quite like having it because it feels a lot cleaner because I eat so many like McDonald's and shit. Oh, just sluggish. But
It is. It honestly, yeah. Every time I stop eating Mackies or something like that for a period of time, and then I eat fruit, I feel so much energy, and then I can't go to sleep. So I'm like, fuck this shit. I can't go to
But
sleep.
you love pizza, don't you? That's the thing.
Pizza from the market, Gianni's,
Yeah, that's the one.
Romano's Pizzeria in Carlisle.
Big shout out. Follow them on Instagram as well.
Yeah. Follow them.
Right, yeah. Next jobs.
So yeah,
They've been
jobs.
circling around this topic for like 10 minutes.
ADHD. So the jobs was North Lakes, and then I quit to go travelling, and then something happened, so I needed to come back, get a job. I worked at a restaurant for a few months, and then what happened between that? Then I got a job with Scottish Power. It wasn't Scottish Power, it was like selling gas and electricity for Scottish Power. Got a job with that where I met my good friend Rachel. You might know Rachel Blaylock?
Sure.
Yeah, for you, wouldn't you? You're her age.
Maybe.
She comes back in the story. So we were doing that. That job was okay. I enjoyed it. It was sales, hard sales on the streets, just stopping folk. You feel creepy as
Character building, though, I'd imagine.
my character's already, yes, but my character's already, like, I didn't give a shit of doing stuff like that before, so I'd still do it. Yeah. Like, to this day, if, like, I need to go and make a sale or something like that, I'll just approach people. Yeah. Like, I'm mindless, is a way to say it. Like, I don't see fear in shit like that. It's like, meh, and I'll just do it. Like, I don't think about it. It's, to me, some people have anxiety towards doing stuff like that. Yeah. I don't.
It's because they overthink it, isn't it? It's like you're saying, if you need to get the deal done or the job done, it's like A to B, isn't it? Don't think about the in-between. Just get there sooner rather than later. If you do it, bite the bullet, you've done it, you know either way if they're keen or not, and then move on to the next one rather than thinking, what if they say no? What if they think I'm a weirdo? What if they think this? And
I already know I'm a weirdo. So if they think, okay, you're just confirming my bias.
And if you like me being weird or not, not everybody likes you, do they? So.
Exactly. There's 7 billion people in the world. And this is what I say about my brand and stuff. People aren't going to like me. I'm more than okay with that because I most likely do not like you anyway. And people that do like me, I also most likely might not like them. Do you know what I mean? There's people you like, there's people you don't. Yeah. And I'm Marmite. A lot of people won't like me. I'm more than fine with that because most likely I'm never going to see you.
Yeah, it's better to be polarizing though. I think it's better to either be like, people either like love you or hate you because then at least you're opinionated.
And both of them know you still though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Rather than being in the middle, being like, oh, it's all right. Oh,
yeah, like
nice.
for Carlisle, I'm pretty well known. I like to think because every time I go out with my family, like just people say hi there. It's like one of those like, why do you know so many people? It's like I generally half the people I don't even know. I'll meet people on a night out like, yo, you're right, Ricardos. Like, you all right? Yeah. Like who are you? Yeah. But it's just what it is. It's a small place, isn't it?
Yeah, a very small place, definitely.
Right. Next job, Scottish Power. Yeah. I was working for them. It was an okay job. Then Rachel left, so it became a little bit shit because it was just me and Rachel in this thing, all of Cumbria. So then they brought 2 lads from Glasgow. Bloody dodge! They showed me what a dodgy salesman was like. So on these iPads and stuff that we had for Scottish Power, we could essentially just put in fake details and fake addresses. Not fake addresses, just Google postcodes and just swap them over. And we got paid 20 quid commission for doing that. So I remember one day I made like 400 quid, no real addresses. And I didn't even do any of that. I just let them do it for me and just was somewhere else.
What?
But then one day I got caught out. No, not by doing that. I got caught out not being on site. They went, are you on site? I said, yeah, which was a lie. Because what was worse is I'd lied about it in the past, not got caught out. That time, I just went to the toilet when I said yeah and came back. And I went, where the fuck are you been? And pure kicked off. But I didn't lose my job over that because there's never anybody else there and I was their best salesman. Carried on my job, but then I quit because it just wasn't liking it and it was coming up to winter. Yeah. So I did the job during the summer. It's coming up to winter. I do not like the cold. No. I was like, tapping out.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I got a job back in the restaurant. I was going to, after Christmas period, because that was November when I quit. After Christmas period, I was going to be the manager of the restaurant. But Rachel then went, because I'd applied for a job with DFS because she got a job there, didn't get it first time. And then Rachel went, the manager wants to speak to you again. And then I got the job there and then started there in December.
So what year was that then?
2019. So 4 months later, the world changed.
Yeah, I know. Such a pivotal part of everybody's life, isn't it? So much changes. It's weird. And it feels like a distant memory now.
Yeah, well, it is. It's years ago now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, 4 months later, the world changed. We were all in lockdown. And nothing came of that. I was a kid still. What, 21, 22? I actually was still mentally a kid. And then that job was good. One thing I learned just before lockdown is I was a good salesman, but I forget at that point I didn't know how to close. I did, but I got to the point where closing, I just didn't ask for business. And then I was told that by one person, Beck, shout out to you. And then I became the best salesman in DFS in that store specifically. And
so what did you change then?
I nothing except I asked for the sale.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So like everything I was very knowledgeable about the products, and I think that's the ADHD kicking again. First thing I did when I properly got into the store, I remembered I walked around the shop 16 times and remembered all the sofas. Yeah. 2 days later, like half the range just changed names.
That's horrible.
Do you know what's more annoying? None of them twats told me they were going to do that. They were just laughing, thinking, what's he doing? Yeah. They thought I was like some spastic. And I wasn't. I remembered them. And I went, come on, Dave, let's go quiz me. They went quiz me and I knew them all.
And they fucking changed it. Oh my God, that's so funny. They'd have been absolutely pissing their pants in it.
Yeah. But it was helpful because then I got to understand the sizes and stuff like that. And when a customer would then come in and you're talking to an encyclopedia of the sofas, they think, oh, fuck me. You know, and it is impressive, like some random little kid knowing everything about sofas when you're some 50-year-old next man. So
sofas are more expensive than I thought as well. Way more expensive. I thought I was being clever, but I wasn't. I should have just got it on the 4-year 0% thing, but I just bought it. And I was like, why
if you ever get offered free money, take it.
I know.
If you can afford to take it on a finance, take it every time. Nobody gives you free money. I don't know why Apple do it. I don't know why DFS do it. I know why, because you can get more customers at £40 a month than you can at £1,600 always. But like if you as a consumer can have 0% interest, honestly, financially, smartest thing you'll do.
Yeah, I know.
Even now to this day, I could afford to buy all my work stuff on just buy outright, but I'm like, no, I'll finance that. I'd rather pay £400 a month for 5 computers than pay out £8,000. Because then that other, 7,600 I could put into 2 properties now and get them on rent to rent, and then makes me another £1,600 every month.
Cash flow, isn't it?
So I'm up £1,200.
Yeah. No, 100%. I should have done that, but it's only like 1,700. So yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, I think they have it so expensive, so like people do get on the finance because they make more money, don't they?
Yeah, it's always business as well. There's margins. One thing I always like to quote: Tesco only make £1.60 on every £100 they sell. So £1.60 on £100, that's madness. So they will have margins because also we live in the UK, so you have to pay staff proper wages. Yeah. They might get some built abroad, but some are built in the UK. Some are more expensive, but yeah. Say that chair probably only costs about £6-7 to make materials, but then you've got the labour, which is another £6-7 and stuff like that. And then there's transforming it over here. Delivery costs £79 for a customer. Maybe it's gone up to £100 at this point.
Yeah, delivery costs are so expensive now.
But honestly, probably the best thing per pound you pay is for the delivery. Because have you ever tried to move a sofa?
Fucking
Nah, do not try to do that, man.
I think it's like £100, £99 I think to do it.
Madness.
Yeah.
It sounds
It's
like
worth it,
madness, but that's probably more worth it than the couch you're spying.
Yeah. Oh, fucking 100%. Because if I had to like hire a van or do it myself and set it up, I'd be like,
Your time's worth more.
That's worth way more than £99.
But most people don't see it that way.
I'd rather pay for a bit more convenience than go out my way and hassle and stuff. But yeah, so then DFS, this is when property all kicked off, was it?
Yeah, so I was working at DFS during COVID. So then there was the first lockdown. Now happened in terms of property like that. And then second lockdown, there's only so many YouTube videos you can watch. I was just bored of watching them. I remember best day ever at DFS is there's a Carlisle United match on a Saturday. Me and Dave got Nando's before the match, Nando's after the match. And then that's when I started watching property because I was like, I'm just bored, and Googled how to make money because we couldn't get any commissions. We weren't allowed customers in during the November lockdown. So I was like, and that's when I started watching it, watched loads of YouTube videos. Because I had watched it in the past when I was like 15, 16, but at that point I couldn't buy a house. So I just thought, nah, bun that. And then came across it later on, as I was saying just then, and just studied it. And I think the ADHD helped me there because I become addicted like that. And it's okay. So I was studying at DFS for 8 hours a day. Then I'd come home and watch a few more videos. And to my mum and dad's credit, they put me off a lot of things. And they tried to put me off this, but they know when I'm like on something, I'm either going to fail or succeed. So they'll just let me do it. So they were pretty supportive at the start. But my dad, I still remember my first property that I acquired for the business. My dad went, "Oh, do you know what you should do with this one? Put a bomb on it because it's shithole." And it makes me $4,000 every month now to this day. And I'm like, because my dad works for me, I'm like, "Dad, I'll pay your wages out of that property only."
That's kind of funny though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, I don't know about your parents, but like my parents, yeah, they'll at the start, they like try and shy me away from stuff. And they got annoyed when I didn't take like a graduate scheme and whatever. It's only because like they care and they wanted like me to do well in like a 100% safer job kind of thing. And start's always the hardest, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Start's never easy, but yeah, the more you grow and the more you progress and stuff, then
yeah,
make more proud, isn't it?
I'm happy they're pessimistic in a way because
prove them wrong.
Yeah, I can prove them wrong, and I love doing that to people. That's one thing. But second thing is, it's very, very understandable from where they come from. My mum and dad don't understand money. They've never had it to understand it. So for your son to be going, "Oh yeah, I'm going to put in £125,000 offer," you don't fucking have it. So how are you doing that? Like, but to understand property and stuff like that, I can raise finances and things like that. They don't understand any of that. They do a lot more now, but at the time they're like, "You can't do that." So it's a little bit of an education thing. And I knew stuff they didn't know, but at that time I did not know 1% of what I know now. And it's mental how every single day I will still learn something. But nowadays, because I've been doing it for so long, I'm a lot more educating, a lot more in my team. And it's like, "Oh yeah, we could go here, but this means this, this and this." Whereas in the past, I was even talking to an investor that I first connected with 2 years ago today. I was like, "Oh, if I'd seen this property here," because there was a property on Milbourne Street, I was like, "I could have bought that for 310. Right now, I could have made it worth 750k just by the refurb I could have done." But back then I didn't know. And to me, I'm raging myself. I lost 440k. But I didn't lose it because it's just an opportunity cost. But it's just the more, but going back to my parents, I'm glad they are pessimistic holding me back because I go a million miles per hour. I need people to hold me back. Hence why when Harry, I've hired him. He's come into my business, the business Karen. He needs to pull me back and set my processes in place because I'm growing the business exponentially and really quickly. But I need to be grounded. And that's one thing I'm really thankful for all my friends. They do like to ground me a lot.
It's important. You don't just people like licking your ass and just saying how great you are, isn't it? It's important for them to like say, "Oh,
you're a twat."
Yeah, it literally is. And be like, "Why are you doing this?" or "Why are you doing that?" Got some laughter in the background. What it is, mates. But yeah, so what was it like then acquiring the first property then? What was that feeling like?
So it was over Christmas. It was weird because I was living with my parents till I was wanting a house. Like at this point I was working at DFS, earning a bit of money. I could afford a house. So I was like, okay, I'd saved up a deposit and I was looking for a house myself, but I was also getting into property industry. So my first investment property happened 2 days after my first purchase. So I looked at a house, which I still own today. And I was like, right, okay. I put in a offer at 15%, 15,000 under what it was. It was 82,000. I put in an offer at 67. They said no. 2 days later, I put in an offer for the other house at a lease option offer, which is purchase later, but I'll rent it off you kind of as a business until then. So that was a £500 per month lease. And then I was going to buy it for 144,000 next month. So that was it was a 2.5 year lease, but that was like 3.5 years ago. And it took us a year to get the contracts done for that property once we'd agreed on terms. But going back to that story, I was putting a 67,000 offer. Didn't get accepted, obviously. And then I put in a Raj offer because as Samuel Leeds said online, I'll just put in a very weird but specific number. So I put in 70,900. Got accepted. I was like,
really?
Because and I don't like this because people like Samuel Leeds make it sound easy. Like he's he understands what he's doing. Not the best of the best, but he understands what he's doing, and like there is logic to his madness, but he makes it seem on the internet a lot easier than it is, and it just isn't. Property isn't easy. It's tough, fucking hard. That's why a lot of people don't do it. Like people go, "Oh, if it was that easy, everyone would do it." Correct. That's because it's not that easy. Yeah. Like the basics and the outlines are easy, but there's a lot of intricacies in the outlines. But
yeah, it's too hard for me. I couldn't do it, I don't think.
I think you've got the brain for it.
Yeah, but I don't have I wouldn't have the application, I don't think. Because like me, not what you do, but say Henry is the real estate agent, I know how much like effort he puts in, but then there's so many variables out of his control. I like to be in control of what's going on.
You're control freak.
Yeah, in the sense of like all aspects. But like, it depends if I'm passionate, if I care about something, I need to know what's going on. But if I don't care about anything, do what the fuck you want. I'm not asked one bit. Like, what we having for dinner? Don't care. You know,
as long as it feeds me.
Yeah, literally. What, like, if girls think to, oh, can you wear these clothes? Yeah, not bothered. You know what I mean? But if it's like,
wow,
yeah, too early. But if it's, I don't know what the example is, but like, say something to do with work, or if I want to go somewhere, like I have to. So like with the property, like when I was buying this, I didn't like it because there was too many moving parts. And and it's like
that's torture.
Yeah,
every day we're on the phone to solicitors for at least half an hour a day.
Oh, right.
I say we, Micah.
But like solicitors, I know I wasn't the only person that they're dealing with, and they've got loads of people on. But
did you ring them every day to piss them off?
Pretty much.
Do you know the best way? Sounds bad to say, but the best way to work with solicitors is to get them angry at you.
Yeah, just so they get you out of the way.
Yeah, because they want you out of the way.
Yeah.
Because they've got two speeds, slow or stopped. I wish, and I think potentially the ones we work with might have 3 speeds, backwards.
But honestly, unbelievable.
I hope this. Shout out to you.
So yeah, sorry, carry on. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
So
I was saying I fucking couldn't.
So then I got the house at 70,900, and then 2 days later the guy went, "Yeah, I'll take that deal." And I was like, because like at this point it's all theory.
Yeah. And
then it was real. It's like, wow. Because a lease option agreement is like gold in the property investor industry because they're rare. They're needle in a haystack. You don't find many of them. And for me to have, because a lease option that I got is 2 flats in one house. It's even better.
Okay, that's impressive.
So, for my first investment deal, that was amazing. And then the house as well now, bought it for 70k. Once I'm going to do some works to it now and put about 94k into it and turn it into a 6-bed, 6 ensuite HMO, and that's going to be worth 297,000. So my first 2 purchases, I'll tell you the figures, 144k for the lease option when we purchase it. I'm going to put 50k, 66k into it, and it's going to be worth 447k.
That's impressive.
So my first 2 purchases is like 750k GDP.
That's really good, isn't it? Yeah.
So that to me,
I bet a lot of people wouldn't for their first 2 purchases.
And it wasn't even that I was trying to go small or try to go big. It was just I'm a maths person, so I knew the numbers worked. I was like, so long term, if I just do these deals over 2-3 years, these are the potential figures. And every single property I've looked at in the past, and I've predicted the figures and the GDV for it, I have not actually been wrong once. And I wish I was, because I could be like, oh, I've been on a couple of things, and it would sound more humble and more thing. But I generally have not been wrong on one. And I still go to this day, I'm like, I looked at that dickhead property. And the only thing I've been wrong in is I've underestimated to be conservative and have some contingency in it. But to me, that's not wrong. That's extra right.
Yeah, that's good. So then how does things kind of kick on from there then?
So I got those, had a business partner it was more to help him out. Like, so lad that I'd started learning the property with, and I'd got this one after 10 months. So it was 10 months of drawn out contracts. So I'm making it sound a lot thing, but that was 10 months of stress, because I was doing my own purchase and I was doing a lease option purchase at the same time. And I wanted to do it all right contracts, right thing. I spent £1,250 on the right contracts for the lease option that I was doing, and ended up that the mortgage supplier didn't want to do it. So I just had to do it back end with the owner of the property, just a man-to-man mutual agreement, because we couldn't do it through the mortgage company in the end. So I kind of wasted £1,250, but all in all, it worked out okay for that deal. So that happened, and then I started that with a business partner, and I had a 6-month contract with him saying, right, if it's all going well, we'll then go and acquire more property. But he started eating off of the business. He went on business trips. He was just going down bloody somewhere and wasting money on it. I was like, you've wasted £2,000 in 6 months on shit that we didn't need to do, and we needed to do upgrades here, there, everywhere. And then as soon as they left the business, I went from about 60% occupancy to 83% to 90%. And then those 2 properties over the first full year that I had it on my own achieved 95% occupancy.
That's really good, isn't it? Yeah.
In Carlisle, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Who the fuck are you running out to?
And then I acquired another property on a rent-to-rent basis on about 8 months after that, after I'd kicked them out. And
so what, rent to rent, but you rent it off them and then you put it on Airbnb or something?
I come in as a management agreement with either a management or commercial lease agreement with the landlord, and I go, right, okay, I'm a business. I'm going to rent it to you as if I'm a bank and just run my business through it. My business is the Airbnb model. And I have those agreements slightly different to an AST. So say you were to rent it out just as a landlord to you, and you'd have a AST, which gives you as a tenant a lot more rights. But for me as a business, I have less rights because I'm not a human, I'm a business. So if I don't pay rent, they've got a lot more rights, so they can just kick me out. Yeah. I don't pay rent for 60 seconds, they can kick me out. And I've wrote that in the contracts. And for the landlord, it's a lot better for me as a tenant, for them to have me as a tenant, because put it this way, this house will need to be tip-top condition every day for the new guests. So to them, they're going to have a house that's 100% going to be in the same, if not better condition, because half the properties we do rent on, we do a refurb for free. So I'll paint all the walls the colour I want, or the colour that suits the thing. If there's somebody touches the wall and it's got a mark, it gets painted the day after. So their properties are kept in a lot better condition. So that's
a win-win, really.
Yeah, it's a win-win for them. But I understand a lot of landlords appear apprehensive, because why would I give it to a company to put loads of different people in it and they'll wreck it? Yeah, but if they wreck it, it's to get fixed. It needs to be fixed, otherwise I'm losing money.
Yeah. And I suppose like they're still getting the same.
Well, to be fair, most rents, we give them around 10 to 15% above market rent. So say a house should be renting 600, we'll probably give them 700.
That's sound, isn't it?
Because it's like, okay, if it's £100, that's one night. I'll take that risk. So I'll get it booked for one extra night than the rent, which so I'll know I'll get it booked for at least 7 days of the month. So I'll be able to pay them the rent every time.
That's good. And then what was it like them bringing the first team member on then? Because like you said, you went on solo for a bit.
Yeah, so kicking on from there, I had those 3 properties, and then I decided after 6 months of having those 3, decided to leave DFS.
Oh, so you're still DFS?
I was still DFS. Cool. I was doing that part-time.
That must be when I bumped into you, because I think I do remember you saying about the lease option agreement or something to me then. You were saying like about, oh yeah, cover my costs and then this will be on top, and then in the future transition over, and then, yeah. So then I decided to leave DFS after about 6 months of that. So I'd been at DFS for about 2.5 years. So the first year, no property. Then the second year I started learning it, and it was really acquiring it. And then after about 8 months of having them properly running, I was making a lot more money on them than I was. Well, profit-wise, I was probably making about $5,500 on the Airbnbs and about $3,000 a month on DFS, so about 2.5 after you think. So it's like, it was silly for me to be there.
But
So much more time than when you leave as well, because you've got DFS and 40 hours.
I was only working 24 hours a week, which was
sorry.
for what I was earning was mint.
I was going to say, 24 hours for free.
But I was making them, my best year there, I made them £1.5 million in software sales.
That's fucking
I was one of the
penny.
first people to break £1 million in a certain amount of days or something. Like that.
Yeah. And you get paid for
36 grand. So it's like 0%, man. So it wasn't the best, but it's like to be working 24 hours a week and earn 36 grand as a 21-year-old. When I was working full time, I was on track because I didn't work full time for a full year. But when I was doing that, I was on track to earn 52 grand a year. And that was when I was 21. I was like, that's pretty good. I've only ever gone up in wages. Yeah. And then I technically went slightly down when I quit the job.
Still recording it.
But yeah, I then was there and I was thinking it was silly too, but I left just to leave. I didn't have plans of expanding. I was like, I'm earning $5 grand a month. Worst case scenario, in the winter, I was earning $3 grand a month. I was like, I was happy. But I was also having to clean my Airbnbs and I was kind of trapped to Carlo. But I never saw that at all. I was just like, chill. If I need to, I'll just get a cleaner for 2 weeks whilst I want to go on holiday.
Yeah, in your early 20s, that's ideal, isn't it, really? Making your own money.
But after 3 months of that, you get into a slump. You're like, I don't do anything. I had no life. My life was just
clean the Airbnbs and stuff.
Clean the Airbnbs and think, because all my pals are at work. Yeah. Like, what am I actually doing with my life?
That's the thing, though. People say, I'd love to have my own business or do this, do that. I'd love to not have to work, but you work anyway,
Do you know what? Having a boss is a lot better than being your own boss.
In what way?
In the aspect of, okay, you might hate that person, but you only hate them for 8 hours a day. If you're having a bad day, you hate yourself because it's your fault. It's your fault. So like, why am I so shit at this? Or why do I not just get my shit together for this? Because if something's gone wrong, a lot of things then has to go wrong for that to be wrong in the first place.
The only time I don't like it is, for me, it's when there's a client issue, mainly like a big one, like if they're unhappy or they want to leave or they're kicking off for an invalid reason, in my opinion, and I have to deal with it. And I'm like, I wish I could just pass it on to someone else. But apart from that, I'm kind of like a piece of it now. I feel like it is what it is. You know what I mean? If there's an issue, there's always a solution. But no, I get what you're saying though, 100%. Because you can't switch off, can you? That's what I mean. The 8 hours a day where you're there, you got your boss, and then you can go home and you're just chilling, aren't you? Just doing what you want to do, making yourself happy. But when you've got your own thing, it's a 24/7 job, and the reality of like being inside my head or your head's very different to what people's perception is. It's like, yeah, you may want it 8 hours a day, but do you want it the other 16 where you're constantly thinking of like, what's next, or should I do this?
You're in the shower and you're like, fuck, do I hop out and write this idea or will I remember it?
Or like, shit, I should have done that yesterday, or
that was due 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
I've got that invoice to pay. The electricity's what?
Yeah.
Like my expenses, we were planning it out for the next year. If we acquire no more properties, it's going to be like 30 grand. To have over what, like the 360k, to have that going out every year minimum. Now going forward, it's always going to grow. To have that is actually scary as shit.
It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
30k is like that's like a restaurant.
It's a lot of money, but like that's what keeps you dripping, though, isn't it? Like what gets you up and going in the morning.
The reason I've started the expansion of the business is I was going on all these holidays and like I was spending a lot of time in Portugal with my family. I couldn't because, well, I could be there, but I'm not at the beach on my own during the day until my cousins finish work or until my friends finish work. I was just dossing about, just doing nothing. So I saw my family. I was like, I need more people with me, so I need to bring everybody else up with me. So that's why I started the expansion of it, and I now made my 7-year plan to be a billionaire.
Yeah, that's impressive though.
So I've got a 7-year plan to be a billionaire. We're currently about 8 months behind track.
8 months.
But we've also got other things that could propel us to being 2 years ahead of track. So I've developed a thing in my business where I do delayed gratification a lot for it. So like there's some projects that we're doing in the background that will give us gratification in 2 years that could like put the trajectory of the business instead of this into that. Just because I'm like, right, okay, if that pays off, we're singing and dancing. If it doesn't pay off, then we're still going here anyways, because we've got a lot of layers to the business. We've got the Airbnb side, we've got the development side, we've got a project management side, we've got the tenancy side, And then we've also got the expansion side. One thing I'll never do is property training. I'm going to sell a training course at 50 grand, which isn't the training course. It's just how we work. I'm doing that for BDR manual, how the company works for like finding off market leads and stuff like that. And that's what my staff are going to get trained through. And I'm going to go to the internet and go, if you want to pay me 50 grand for my brain, I'll let you. Because I don't want to sell a course. If somebody's willing to be stupid enough and give me 50 grand for a sales funnel, fucking do it.
Yeah, why not?
Because I don't believe in property training. Because everything is online for free because I taught myself.
Yeah, I think it's just people are just too lazy to find it though, aren't they? They just want it packaged up and think that's the quick fix.
But packaged up is... See, there's two aspects to that. That is 100% true. The other aspect is people just want it accessible. If it's that and it's accessible and you're willing to do the work, I love that. I love that for you, because if you're smart enough to go, boom, it's there. Like a lot of these property trainers, I'm going to go there to nick their networks. So I'm going to go buy their courses and stuff like that to nick the networks and the communities. Whereas these people here that are just doing it because they're lazy, they're never going to achieve anything because they're lazy. So it's like, yeah, you could have the idea to go, yeah, once it's all there, I'll be able to do it. But if you're not going to do it before it's all there, how are you going to do it once it's all there? Yeah. It's the action, it's the goal. It's like, if you're not going to be able to do it there or even try, then once you know it, doesn't mean you'll apply it.
No, so I mean, I think people do think if you spend 5 grand on a course that automatically you're going to make 5 million. But it's like, you still have to, like you say, you have to take the action. You have to take the steps.
That's why, and that's one thing I'm grateful for not having money growing up, is I know that I can do a lot more with no money than with money, because my time and my effort can get me a lot further with having no money than time and effort with some money. Because if I don't have, then just time and some money, because if I don't have effort, then you don't have nothing.
Yeah, you need that drive, don't you, to keep you going, because otherwise you get complacent and be the people coming up. There's always somebody younger and hungrier and that kind of thing. But
that exactly, I see 80, there's a kid called Brody and he's 15 and he's always at these networking events. And honestly, we're always wanting to work with him, because that is exactly what you need. He's 15, he's there, his mum and dad are pretty well off in property as well, but he's still going after it, and they're not going to give, as far as I know, they're not going to give him a handout or anything like that. And he's doing it all himself. I fucking love that.
Yeah, no, I fucking rate that.
Shout out, Brody.
So then, if people were actually interested then in what you're doing and getting involved, who would be the ideal person or like client, would you say, for you?
With 3 aspects to this. We're looking for staff, first of all, people who are hungry but are dedicated to actually doing a job. We're looking for anybody who wants to invest their money and doesn't want anything to do with it and just wants to make a return. Like, we have a 12-month, a 24-month, 36-month. Say somebody invests 30k, they'll get 3,400 back every month after the first 3 months for 12 months, which gets them 40 grand. So you make 10 grand profit on your money. Whereas, like, you could also invest anything from 2k, from 2.5k, you get £300 back. So you get 3,600 after 12 months. So we do that because I know some people want to invest but don't have money or a lot of money to do. And then some people want to invest at 500k at 10%. And then we'll grow them the money, grow our portfolio with that, and just work together in synergy. There's that. And we also work with people in the property industry. So any solicitors and stuff like that are fast. Any property deal sources that help other investors find deals, or just anybody really. We can create synergy with pretty much anybody in the property industry. I spoke to a guy called Jamie York. He's Yusuf He's good. And he's really well knowledgeable. And he said property is a very incestual world. And I like that, because we see everybody all the time at the same events. And it's you just know everybody pretty quickly. And I was saying this to Micah the other day, like, oh, I was at this event and I saw this person, spoke to this person on Facebook. A guy gave me his business card and I was like, Alex, you were one of the first people I connected with. And he's like a finance broker. I was like, mad to have seen you on Zoom for like 2 hours before in the past 3-4 years ago. And now I've seen you in person for the first time ever.
Yeah, like double taking, like, oh, actually a real person, you know?
Yeah, man. You walked, you talk.
I know. I've done that so many times, you think, yeah, these people are actually real. It's weird.
It's like, well, I watch your YouTube and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, Adam, I know him.
I've met him in person before, yeah. But no, it's even like, one of our newer clients, well, who's joined us back this year.
Congrats on them making a smart business decision.
It's going quite well so far, to be fair. Like, I worked with him in COVID and we never actually met up because we didn't do as much content stuff. And it's been just like Facebook ads and stuff. And then I met him for the first time a few months ago and it's like so like weird, even though like we know each other on that kind of level. And then you see in person, it's like, I can like, not that I felt him, but like I can like, if I wanted to touch you, I could touch you. But it's weird. Yeah, literally. It is weird like that. But no. So staff members, then if somebody's watching or listening to this podcast, then what kind of person are you looking for? What kind of personality or what's like a date? I know the day-to-day will be different, but what should they expect? Or
every day today is different, but I want a person that has got a personality. If you're drib and drab, you're probably just not gonna. You could make it, but I need somebody with a personality. You can't just be here, there, boring. Just your girl next door, your boy next door. I want somebody with a personality because with the game that we're at, we're trying to attract investors. We trying to build connections with solicitors, estate agents, finance brokers, this and that. You need to be memorable. You can't. You need to be a brand inside BDR. You need to be your own brand. Like Mike has that property plug because he's from London. He's from the hood, so he needed that in it. But Mike is his own brand in himself because he's a musician. So you need to have your own. You need to have something about you. Like I'm my own brand. I'm going to be the cocky investor because can be cocky, can be very the opposite of cocky, but it's a brand to have. You need your own little thing, and I'm very smart in what I do, and I would say I'm probably clearly not, smarter than a lot of people in the property industry in terms of I could analyse a lot of things better than most people, and that's going to be my niche specifically for me. But for my members, for my staff, that I want them to have their own personality, to hold their own in a conversation. They don't have to add a lot, but if they add one little piece, that's a nugget. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that from them.
Because that's what I feel like anybody needs. It's just those different things that people can relate to. Because everybody is different. And you're not going to, like we were saying earlier, I think off the podcast, that you're not going to get on with everyone. Not everyone's going to get on with you, not everyone's going to like you. But if you can find like at least a few different things that people can relate to you on a level, then you're winning, aren't you? Say like, for me, for example, I support Everton, I like football. So, you know, hey, we've won the last 2 games. We fucking beat Liverpool on Wednesday, so that was actually good.
You know your team's shit when you go, we've won the last 2 games.
we hadn't won before then since like the 18th of December or something, so it's tragic. But
that's a big dry patch.
Like say, I haven't like drank for however many years. That's like a thing that people can remember you by. You know what I mean? I've got my own business, I've got the podcast, different things that people can relate to you and talk to you and feel like they know you before they know you, because if people trust you, you can go a long way.
Yeah.
And if you're likable, you can go even fucking further. You know what I mean? But like one whichever way you want. Like you say, if your personality is the cocky, confident, knowledgeable guy, then people who are on the same kind of vibe are going to go with you, aren't they? But maybe
that's why sorry to interrupt. That's why we've got one of the main connection we've got coming in the property industry that is literally was off of the back of that. It's because I was cocky at first with interjecting into a Facebook comment, confident to do that, and knowledgeable to know that my deal stacked a lot better than theirs, and to understand what then happened is we were on a Zoom call for 15 minutes and I was able to break their deal down, the other person's deal down, and go, shit, because this and this, they haven't done this and this, and my deal stacks because this and this and this. And all those 3 words that you just used were the epitome of that. And that's exactly why it worked.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As long as you can like back it up, then that's sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just like shooting people down for like that teacher just shooting someone down for the sake of it or whatever.
Pulling that bitch.
Yeah. And then so the investor side then, so people have got a bit of spare cash then.
Yeah, if people want to put their money to work, we're here for them. If people want to also learn property, I'm not going to teach you, but if you've got questions, I'll probably teach you.
Yeah.
If you want to ask questions, we're always here. We've got an office in Carlisle. We're going to set up an office in Manchester in the next 2 months and one in Newcastle and Preston and Liverpool by the end of the year, but next 2 months in Manchester.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then the third one was other property sources.
Anybody in the property industry.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody, accountants here, sources, anybody that is good at the job, if you want to connect, because put it this way, we can do business with everybody because, say, a property sourcer, we could find a deal for their investors. They could find a deal for our investors. We could give them an investor. They could give us an investor. Accountants, any of our new clients, they might need property accountants specifically, or solicitors. We need new of them, please. Do you know what I mean? Estate agents, we can build connections. We can sell their properties off them. Like, we were building a good connection with Tiffin's estate agent today. First time I met her properly, but we had a 25-minute conversation, nothing to do with property. Yeah. And we're both in the property industry. We were literally just talking about schools in Carlo. Yeah. And how bad they are.
Yeah. It's about relationships, isn't it? You know what I mean?
And it wasn't even that I normally don't even go to the viewings anymore that much. And it wasn't that I think I don't actually like talking to people that much half the time. I'm a very recluse person. Now at times I'm just a hermit in my office. But I was just there and it was just natural. Wasn't even trying to sell on my business or anything like that. It's just a natural conversation. And that's the kind of, also going back to the member of staff, somebody I want, somebody who can have a conversation just willy-nilly, not even a thought. It just comes to you naturally.
Yeah. I think staff, team members are so important in like small businesses, aren't they? Because they can have such a positive or negative impact, can't they? So like everybody working together as a team, isn't it? And getting along and stuff. It just makes the work environment so much more
There need to be
enjoyable.
a vibe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so, yeah. So if anyone's looking for work, then Ricardos is going. So then,
job interview. Well, this was like a job interview when you told me what we were doing.
So let's talk about greatest strength and greatest weakness then. So I think I maybe know them kind of by now, but what would you say your greatest strength, greatest weakness?
What would you say?
Well, I think your strength's probably like your ADHD, from what you're saying to me, and like your focus on specific things. Like, I think your work ethic's good, but not specifically the work ethic, but I think the focus, the focus on that thing, whichever you've done in the past, I think that's like a real important thing, because especially these days, you can get distracted so easily. And a lot of people would say, I want to do property, so I'm going to do property. But, I say social media looks nice.
And
stock and shares looks good. So then instead of like you going, say, 0 to 100 in as fast as possible, then they're trying to go 0 to 100 across 5 and only getting 20% of the way there. So when...
If that.
Yeah. So if they don't get where they want to be, it's like, I'll give up. But it's like, have you actually tried properly or given it
all? How are you giving up at 20%?
Yeah.
When like you haven't even gave it 100%. You've gave it 20%. You've gave your 100%, but you've only gave 20% to a certain thing. Yeah. So how can you say you've tried? Like, you've tried to the amount of effort you can extort, but you haven't tried 100% in one lane. So you might have tried to what you think it is, but that's not trying to your best capacity in that specific aspect.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think it's just the way of the world in social media these days, isn't it? And if you do focus, you will excel if you've got the right drive and stuff. And the other thing that I liked as well, not straight, but I like what you said, I'm beating you up here, the delayed gratification thing. Yeah. So like...
honestly, sometimes it's bit me in the butt though. Because that is in terms of financial stuff. Like growing a business now, having staff, the cash flow saying, fuck me, that can be tough. Because that delayed gratification, like we could paid for X amount of deals now, but we could get paid more at the end, so we'd rather do that.
But I think it's like, I don't know if you vape or whatever, but like I went through a bit of a phase last year.
Hate vaping.
So like,
honestly, I'd rather you smoke weed in front of me than vape.
So like, I think that's the best kind of example that I can give is, say, in business, I feel like if you're in it for long term, you will delay that gratification. You think, when we're young-ish still, no, like you'll be a bit more in the trenches.
Mid to late 20s.
Yeah. You'll just get by now and you make do for the rewards to pay off in the future. Same with the vaping. You think, that's good because you get the nicotine rush, whatever, or the taste is nice, but then your health's fucked further down the line. You know what I mean? It's what do you want?
I thought you were going to say, I'm vaping now and I'm going to save myself later because I'm not smoking cigarettes. That's what I thought you said.
No. I wasn't thinking that, no.
Get yourself on the Andrew Tate cigars.
To be fair, I was thinking after my half marathon to do, I've got the name now, what's the shisha thing? Quite like a shisha, to be fair, now and again, but only when I'm like on holiday. But I think...
Was that what we had in Turkey?
Yeah, probably. They are good.
Not Turkey, Egypt.
Oh, Egypt, yeah. But yeah, I like that as well because I think that's important rather than just Because the thing is, there's always someone on social media who's younger, got more money, driving the Lambos, and it's like, yeah, it's good for you and stuff, but that's not where I am right now.
One thing as well, and I hear on social media, I find it cringy, but it's true. It's your own story. Like, I could not be where you are, ever, because that's just not the path my life was. And even if I tried to emulate you, I could do it 10 times better or 10 times worse. I wouldn't know until I tried. But like, that's not my path. Like, I can't see myself as Grant Cardone. I can't see myself as Samuel Leeds, Jimmy York.
There's only one of you as well, you know.
Yeah.
You're the best version of you. You're always going to be the second.
Or the worst. that goes back to what I was saying about being like your own boss. It's like, I could be the best version of me today and love it. I could be the worst version of me tomorrow and be like, fuck's sake, why am I such a piece of shit? Yeah. But you've only got yourself to dwell on that.
Yeah. You're accountable, aren't you? So what would you say your biggest strength is then?
Maybe,
then I'll talk about your weakness, but don't take it personally.
Biggest strength is probably my brain.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I take that for granted in a way because I don't notice it because it's just my brain. So it's there every day. But like the more and more I speak to people and like they go, wow, like for a young man is what I get. For a young man, like you think of like somebody who's been doing this for 20, 25 years. I've only been doing it for 3-4 years. But like they're like, you analyze this as if somebody, and you go to X degree, and it's nice to be complimented like that because that's one, like, yeah, I might have an ugly face or something, or I might have a nice smile, then somebody might go, you're pretty, or somebody might go, you're ugly, but like becoming on your brain is unique. I think not many people get that, and that's probably why I'd say it's my biggest strength. Yeah,
that's good. Weakness is, I would say to you, is you're not prioritizing your health.
100%. That's what my mum would say as well.
I think, like, I don't sound patronising, but saying that sound patronising, but like, you're 25 and it's like, say delayed gratification, think of like how good, they don't know how good you can feel. And the better you feel, the better you'll work, the more motivating you'll be to other people around you, and then you'll be able to lead from the front more and you'll get better results. Like say with me, with the alcohol thing, I thought I was sound, you know what I mean? I'm not saying stop drinking alcohol, but like even just...
I've not drank in like 4 days.
Yeah. But like even what you eat or going to the gym and stuff like that, and say like this year for me, the running, that's taken me to another level of like, me doing the running, it's something that's hard. And when I do it, I get the high.
You run before, didn't you?
No. Only the first run of football and stuff, but like not actual running. The first one I did was January this year in Marbella with my mates, and then the first one with Max, who used to work at North Lakes. My first one by myself was like February. Doing that something hard first thing in the day makes the rest of the day on easy mode. You know what I mean? Because the amount of times you're running and you want to stop and you finish, you get the runner's high and you're like, fuck, every other challenge in front of me now is a piece of piss. You know what I mean? Doing that half marathon, yeah, it was fucking hard. And I wanted to stop when I was going up this massive incline, but did it. I was like, fuck, well, everything else is easy. And like Peter, yes, I'd enjoy it, but like just prioritize your health and then you will take it to the next level and everything will be easier. Don't take it personally. No. That's what I'd say to you. I've never done anyone else's strengths and weaknesses before. This is the first time.
I totally agree.
I think, yeah. What would you say yours is?
That's one of the biggest. But I would probably say my scattiness in day-to-day life, because, and I think this goes back to the ADHD, I have so much in my brain all the time. Like, I also have a list of 3 whiteboards behind. I have 4 whiteboards behind me, but 3 of them I've got a list of stuff for me to do. And I get lots of it done, never all of it. And that's because I try to overstretch myself. But I like always still having loads more to do, because it's like, okay, well, at least I got someone to do with it.
Do you think that's going to be a strength at the same time, being able to manage and juggle things?
But my problem is the scattiness. I can't. Not very well.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you a Raj story. Raj in my head. We had to pay £100 to view a property today because we forgot to view it a couple of weeks earlier. And the guy was like, oh, he's a tire kicker, he's just going to fuck off. Yeah. But now we're going to buy that property for 270 grand, so...
Yeah, it works out.
It was paying 100 thing, but that was because I booked like 6 viewings, all like that, because I was like, nah, let's get the keys and let's go get these. And then I booked them all, and one of them was at the same time as the other. Completely forgot the other because it wasn't with an agent, it was with a direct to vendor, which is a better lead than an agent normally. Yeah. And I completely forgot the direct to vendor lead because, well, he's not going to email us saying, yes, you've got to view this. And stuff, it's for us to remember. And the agent did, so we went to that one and he was there waiting for us for half an hour, so it was shit. So when he then goes, nah, he's a tire kicker, pay 100 quid. I paid it, obviously. Keep it.
Yeah.
Tip.
It's worked out in the end anyway now.
But yeah, I'd say scattiness.
Yeah. And then what would you say, any big regrets or big mistakes you've made so far, personal or business life? Anything that springs to mind?
Girls.
What? Let them distract you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
It is hard, I think.
I've near done impossible.
Yeah.
That's it. That's honestly, I'd say that is the only thing in my life I don't have control of. Like,
Why do you think that?
I feel like I'm the head of my family, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, well, my business, I'm the head of my business, and if I want, like, see, when you say about health, like I know I could take control of that. So like because I know I could, I feel on top of it. And like I also, for example, I was 80 kg. And I went, I was going to look for my sister's wedding tomorrow. So I just worked out and thing for the last 3 days. And now I'm 77. So it's like perfect. So with stuff like that, it's bad though, because it reinforces my negative habits. But with stuff like that, like I feel I can control that. But with girls, fuck me, I never know.
Girls,
and it's like, as I always joke, I'm Carlisle's most eligible bachelor. At 25, I'm running a multi-million pound business. I've got 12 Airbnbs that I can stay at any night. Nice cribs, kitted out.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Like I can ball out and walk about because it's all cheap as hell compared to anywhere else in the world. And but yeah, girls could walk all over me and I'd be like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah. Girls are weird though. Like,
yeah, man. Bun them.
They are though. They're the most complex things in the world. Like something can make complete sense and then they want to do the complete opposite thing. And I'm like, what? Why? And that's the thing as well, what I was saying about the control thing. Oh, she doesn't, she probably wants to that. So like, she says she likes me to like make a plan or know what I want to do.
But the plan's wrong.
So say for example, when we first started meeting up, I'd be like, right, we're going to go here, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then, they go along with things and stuff. And then the further it goes along, they start expressing
that they
how
don't
they actually
like
feel, don't they? But then it's got to the stage now where it's like, should we do this? Or should we do that? What do you want to do? And it's like, why do you never organise this or organise that? And I'm like,
I just don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly. And then and then when I do suggest something, it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. Or they don't know what they want to do. And it's just like, give me a fucking break. It's like what you say when
I'm not here for the wrong answer. Let's just get to the right answer first time and like stop wasting my time.
And it's like, say if like I make a lot of decisions in the day, and like you
need to relax in it.
Yeah,
from
and the
decision
team
making
and the clients and whatever. And it's like if I suggest something and you don't want to do it, you suggest something back and we'll do that. Like I was saying before, a control freak in the sense of what I want to do. But if I'm not bothered, do whatever you want to do. And it's just like,
please yourself.
Yeah, but then it always turns out whatever they want to do is fucking expensive. So it's like, God.
So I don't even get to that stage.
Right. Oh, really? Yeah.
But I wish they could. But I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, but no, I think don't worry about girls now. Just focus on yourself 100% because they are distractions. I think I'm in a position now where I'm like, all right.
My only problem with that is my sister's getting married. My other sister's got kids, and I'm like 2-3 years behind them. But it's like I'm a family person, very family oriented. It's like to me, I wanted kids and a family and a wife by 30. 5 years left, and probably 4.5 years now. That's not happening.
Mate, I'm 28 and still technically single. So,
but like just as I was saying earlier, your lane's different. You might want kids by 40. You might want kids by 29. Yeah. So you're late. But do you know what I mean?
I originally, when I was younger, wanted 29, 32 kids. So when I was 29 and 32 to have kids, sorry, yeah. Not that many kids, I'm not that busy.
Michael wants 6, I thought that was crazy.
You're going to be busy. So when I'm 50, the 21 and 18 have a big party, but I think like for me it's changed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was thinking in the future, but like now I'm like, I'm not ready right now. You know what I mean? I've got still some more shit I want to do and travel, and some of my friends have got kids and I'm like happy for them, but I know for me I've got a bit more to give before I get there, which is fine. You know, say for you, you've still got plenty of time to meet people.
No, but it isn't. Before I just thought it would naturally happen whilst I'm doing all this.
Yeah, it will though. Definitely.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
But the problem is,
like, say if you're having a thing in Manchester and Newcastle and Preston or whatever, then you're meeting more people.
Things.
Yeah, but there's not, like you say, if you're the most eligible bachelor in Carlisle, is there really that many eligible bachelorettes?
There isn't. Hey,
So
I've been and done a survey. There isn't.
that's what I mean. So it's just widen the pool and see what happens. And yeah, you got plenty of time for 30, I think. So yeah, right. Where can everybody follow you?
BDR Properties.
Get in contact.
Normally have the merch.
Yeah.
But if you go to Strength Shack, my friends are always there and they wear my merch. That was a good marketing thing, eh? I just bought them all. The tops were like £4 a spine. I just bought them all gym tops.
That's good.
So they all wear them. Sick. Nice. And sponsor football teams as well. Got a football team. Guildford Park men's.
Oh, I know.
That's do you want to play?
The thing is,
You never are you?
yeah, I know. I used to actually be quite good back in the day. But yeah. But even like I played five-a-side the other week in Cardiff. And
tight as fuck.
That's somewhat. No, but I ran 15k before, didn't I? Because I was training for a half marathon.
It's amazing. One of our players runs to the football from the football, but he's done a 5 to 12 to 10k beforehand. It's like, how are you doing this?
I was training for the half marathon, and I wasn't expecting to play. And Yoni just drafted me in last minute, and then somebody stood on my foot. My foot was bruised for like the whole week after. It was quite sore, but I just couldn't afford to get injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We say that sometimes.
Yeah.
Michael broke somebody's leg during the season.
At least you broke their leg, not your leg.
Well, they tried to stop him. It was only fair.
Yeah.
Karma.
Football's brutal. And especially like if you play Sunday League or something, I feel like everybody's still on a bender and...
I'm still steaming every time I've played. I actually... and I've played through injury this season. Never played sober.
Really? That's impressive though. Yeah. Play better?
No. I can't put it in a straight line. I'm not bad. I'm good. I'm good steaming, but like I'm much better sober.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I'm better on a night than in the morning.
Really?
I used to play when I was playing at Annan. We'd play on the nights. So maybe that's why.
Under the lights.
Yeah.
In the evening.
Scottish lights.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
No. Thank you. Congrats on your everything. Big things to come for 2025.
Things, yeah. Next run, Great North Run in September.
Ah, sick. Are you doing these things for charities or just for yourself?
So I did this one for Cash for Kids. So I think I've raised nearly £800 now.
So what's that? Cash for Kids.
So basically, I did a podcast with the head fundraiser last year. She's called Sarah Oldham.
I watched that. I should have known.
Yeah. And like, say you said obviously you lived in poverty. I didn't. Like, I was quite privileged growing up.
White boy, yeah.
Yeah. Like I went to private school and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Which one?
Austin Priors. So say like me growing up, everybody had stuff, you know what I mean? And me talking to her, I think it was last summer, and like realizing that people don't have like toothpaste or shampoo or shower gel or just like basic fundamental stuff that, not that took for granted, it's just like, I would expect that. Expected like growing up. It's not even like a...
Took for granted, it's just just life.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's not even taken for granted. Like, I take for granted like the laptops or phones and that kind of thing, but not the essentials that are just in the cupboard. And so that was really like, for me, a bit like, fuck, that shit actually goes on. I knew people obviously deprived and stuff.
Yeah, you see homeless people on the street sometimes.
Yeah, but I didn't really fully understand it. So speaking to her really opened my eyes towards it, which was quite nice. And then I donated some footballs over Christmas to Cash for Kids just because one of my clients did similar thing the year before. So I was like, oh, that's quite inspiring. So if I can give back to make a kid's Christmas, I will do, you know what I mean? And I posted it on social media, and I've thought in the past, like, oh, if you post charity work on social media, it's like you're only doing it for charity. But at the same time, I didn't have to do that if I didn't want to.
It's a presence thing, I think.
Yeah,
especially with somebody in the social media space like yourself.
And it's like, if I was inspired by my client, hopefully I can inspire somebody for next year to do the same thing. So I stayed in contact with her and I said, I'm thinking, because my mates ran a half marathon in February in Barcelona for charity. Yeah, I did support. I went to support because I hadn't like trained for it. And she was raising money for her dad passed away from cancer. So she raised money for that charity. So I was like, well, I'll do my first one for charity as well. And I thought, I messaged her and did it. So hopefully I'll raise over £1,000. I still need to donate myself. I think like £800 at the moment, which should be quite cool. And then the one in September for Great North Run, going to do that hospice at home, which I've raised money for when we climbed Blencathra last year as well. And it's just nice for me to be able to do stuff to like give back, you know what I mean? Whereas like younger me, even though I'm selfish now still, focus on my goals and that kind of shit. But if I can, I'll do that. Is that
selfish or is that driven?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. When you say about girls, that's the first thing I say to girls. It's like, I'm a selfish person. I'll like do what I want to do to achieve my goals, and work is my number one priority. And for the time being, you're
Yeah,
going
I
to be...
struggle with that as well.
I'm going to be like, you're on the back burner, you know what I mean?
You literally...
But yeah, so like, that's a cool thing that I'm doing, and like...
That's sick. I didn't know. Honestly, keep posting it on social media because I donated to my friend's run because of the back of you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I was like, that's sick.
Yeah, that's what I
I'll
mean.
donate to yours too, don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for putting on. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment your favourite part. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review. I will see you next time. Bye.